Canadian Real Estate Association has released its report of home sales for the month of June, and it shows signs of a buyer's market. CBC's Scott Peterson takes us through the numbers.
A lot of people have been anticipating these June real estate numbers to see if there's been a little bit more enthusiasm on behalf of buyers to get into this market now that we saw that the Bank of Canada reduced the overnight interest rate at the beginning of June. And there is a little bit of optimism, a blip up in the month of June, 0.1% in terms of prices. That might not seem like a big deal, but it is the first time we saw a monthly increase in prices over the last 11 months. So according to the Canadian Real Estate Association, and let's not forget they are in the business of selling real estate, says this is the beginning of a trend. Let's take a look at some of the numbers released by CREA this morning in terms of sales. Up 3.7% month over month, but versus this time last year, down about 9.5%. New listings continuing to rise as more people putting their houses on the market. That's up 1.5% month over month. The Toronto area and Vancouver Lower Mainland responsible for a lot of new listings. We're also looking at 180,000 properties now listed in the multiple listing service. That's up 26% year over year, which could indicate that people, instead of refinancing at higher mortgage rates, are perhaps selling their homes instead. So this is in effect a buyer's market. In terms of prices, we're down about 1.5% over this time last year, with the average home price now just over $696,000. Now here's a graph showing that where prices have been over the last few years, and these are off highs that we saw back early in 2022 as they started to increase interest rates. The average home price was well over $800,000, and so the difference there shows you where we've been in the last couple of years. Now, for the rest of the year, the Canadian Real Estate Association is optimistic in terms of prices and sales, saying that as people see more rate reductions potentially from the Bank of Canada, there'll be more enthusiasm to get into this real estate market. Scott Peterson, CBC News, Toronto.